everybody, welcome back to my channel. Yes, in our previous video we were talking about H4 visas, how the entire process goes down. And yes, in this video we will be focusing on what are the documentation requirements and the interview process. I'll be sharing my own personal experience too. So when I had my H4 visa interview, I've prepared a long list of documents. In basically whatever everyone told me, I went for all of those. So I'll share with you a list of documents that I prepared. I'm also keeping a lot many extra documents with me to be on a safer side, so that in case you never know, the VO asks you for some documents, then you must have it. So let's get started. The very first thing that you must keep handy is your passport. Yes, that's important. You need to get your passport stamped. So first comes your passport. Second, you need to have a copy of your spouse approved I-797. When I say an approved I-797, it means an approved copy of his visa. So my spouse, he's on an H-1B visa, so I had approved copy of his I-797. Next, we have in the list the copy of I-94. So when I applied for my H4 visa, my spouse, he was already in the US. So I-94 is basically a proof of him getting into the US. That is a document that is generated at the port of entry. So once he gets into US, he gets the I-94. So I got a copy of that too, in order to prove that my spouse was already in the US. Then I had a copy of my DS-160. The application, online application that I was talking about in my previous video, yes, get a copy of that too, the receipt I mean. Next, I have a copy of my birth proof, that is my 10th certificate. I got that to prove my date of birth. Then wedding photographs. These are very, very, very important. They do see into wedding photographs. Get around 20 photographs. Initially it was you need to get an album, but I did not get an album. I just got a bunch of pictures printed, and yes, I was good to go. The VO almost saw 12 to 13 photographs, so she told me to keep rolling and rolling and rolling. I kept rolling the photographs and she literally saw all of them. So yes, get a bunch of pictures from your wedding. In order to prove your relationship with your husband, you need to have your wedding photograph, So have your wedding photographs. Then a marriage certificate. Yes, it's mandatory. You must get a marriage certificate. And whether it is physically signed or digitally signed, the VO actually looks into that in detail. So get your marriage certificate. If your marriage certificate is issued online, just get it printed, and if you got it physically, then carry it along with you, so you're good to go with that too. These are the basic documents that are required. Apart from these documents, you can also have some additional documents with you. Like I had the copy of passport of my husband, so he had 2 passports. I had a copy of both of those passports. But it was never required, or nowhere I was asked to show that, but I just wanted to be safe, so I got those passports copy along with me. So H4 visa, basically these are the only documents that you shall be needed. You can also have a photograph, some extra photographs with you. Sometimes it happens that in your biometrics, when they do not take good pictures, the VO might ask you to give a photograph, and if you have, then it's better, in order to expedite the entire process, in order to avoid any sort of delays. If you have a photograph, just keep it with you. You may need it sometimes, you never know. So it's better to have one to be on a safer side. These are the major documents that you need, and I think these are the only documents that you will need for your H4 visa. So that's it. So once you are ready with the documents, now comes the time for biometrics and interview. When I went for biometrics, I had the Hyderabad center for both biometrics and interview. On the day of biometrics, it was just a queue. You need to go and stand. They'll ask you a copy for your DS-160, the filed copy. You get the receipt and you have that with you. They just took that. In case you have filed for a different place in your DS-160 and you got an appointment in a different location, so you need not worry, it always works. But still, then if you're confused, you can resubmit your DS-160 and change the location. It's totally fine. I forgot to tell something about DS-160. When you file your DS-160, you get an application number, so keep that number handy. So whenever you want to make any amendments or changes in that, you can use the same number, and you can retrieve your application, make the changes and submit it again, and you're good to go. So yes, I had filed for, initially I had filed for Kolkata location, but I got my appointment at Hyderabad location. So I just changed it before my appointment date, and I was good to go. But I was also told that even if I did not change, they are still going to accept it. There's no problem with that. But to be on a safer side, I changed it. On my biometrics, I just submitted my DS-160, my passport. They did their processing. They confirmed my name, date of birth, and let me in. After I was in, all that I was required to do was keep my fingerprints, all the 10. After that, they had my photograph. They took a picture of me. Make sure your ears are visible. You know, I went with all this hair open, and they asked me to tie it. I did not have a tie. They gave me a rubber tie. It was a mess. So make sure you pull back your hair and your ears are visible, so you get a full picture. They want to see every feature, you know. So make sure that you're having all your ears and everything visible. After that, we are done with the biometrics. It's just a matter of 5 minutes. Yeah, if there's a long queue, you need to wait, but it's a matter of 5 minutes, and I was done with it. That's it. Biometric is pretty simple, you know, you don't have anything to do. Yes. Now you have done your biometrics, and comes the big day, the date of interview. Make sure you arrive early at your appointment location, because there is high chances that there might be a queue. So I'd advise half an hour early to your appointment slot. So be there in time, and wait until you are being called. Once you have been called, the VO will ask you to submit your passport. So make sure, be smiling, submit your passport, and answer confidently. That's the key. Yes, you need to be confident with your answers. Make sure that you are very much audible, and she is getting your point correctly. She will ask you very simple questions. It's a H4 visa, it's no big deal. She's really going to ask you very simple questions. So my interview started like, she was hello ma'am, how are you doing today, good morning, and all this stuff. Some pleasantries were exchanged, and then she came on like, where is your husband in US? I answered. Which company he works for? I answered. What is his salary? Yes, I answered that too. And then it was, where are you planning to stay in US? Yes, these are some very common questions they ask you, you know. I answered all of that. Then she asked me, how long are you married? So there, I just told her I'm married from this date. She told me, how long is that from? So quickly I calculated, and I said, yes, it's 7 months or 6 months, whatever it is. I just made a quick calculation, and I told her. So make sure you're prepared and you've calculated your months or years, whatever it is that I have been married for this many and this many years. Then she said, okay, show me your marriage certificate. So I showed her the certificate. She was particularly looking for the signature of the signing authority in that. My marriage certificate is downloaded. It's a downloaded form. It was like issued online, so it is digitally signed. Initially, I was very much skeptical whether it's going to be accepted or not, because when my certificate came, you know, a little cross mark was there, red cross mark, and then you have to go right click on that and do something, and then it turns green. There were some technicalities in that. And then I showed it to her, she checked, and she said, okay, we are good to go. So finally, the marriage certificate is over, and then she wanted to see the wedding pictures. She told me, okay, show me your wedding pictures. I showed it to her. She said, keep rolling, and then it went on and on and on, around 12 to 13 pictures to show, until she was satisfied basically, and then she said, okay, fine, we're good to go. And that's it. She did not ask for any further documents, and I was surprised and happy too. And then came the moment of truth. She said, ma'am, your visa is approved, safe travels. That's it. She kept my passport, and I exited with a happy face with my visa being approved. And within 2 days, you know, I just kept checking online to see the visa status, and it just showed approved, and in a few days I received my passport back. Once you received your passport, just make sure to check that it has been stamped, you know, to be on the safer side and make yourself believe in, yes, my visa has been approved, it's stamped, and now it's time to fly to US. So this is quite a simple process. If you have any more doubts, just ping me and comment in the comment section below, or if you want to know anything else in particular, just ping me in the comment section below and I will be more than happy to answer you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Stay blessed. Thank you.